good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. This is Dot Nation News coming to you from Lagos live. My excellent viewers, I pray and still, compel you not to oblige, to actually comply, by subscribing from my YouTube channel, Dot Nation News. That's the utmost, help I need from you. My name still remains Ralph Tresvant. Igbo kwenu, Igbo na kwenu, Igbo niile kwenu, Igbo in Diaspora, Igbo in Nigeria, na kwenu everybody. Ojukwu kwa onye anyị na-ekwu okwu ya nzuzu a. Nowadays we've been discussing much about CHUKWUEMEKA ODUMEGU Ojukwu. Because it seems like both Igbos in local Igbos, Igbos in Nigeria, in the southeastern Nigeria, in Biafra land, and the Igbos in diaspora are like trying to abandon, the hero of our time, Mazi CHUKWUEMEKA ODUMEGU Ojukwu, who actually fight for the entire southeasterners, Biafra land, the whole coastal line, right from Bight of Guinea, down to Bight of Benin. Benin, I don't mean Edo State, I mean Benin Republic. Because all these coastal lines, they are all the coastal line, land of Biafra. So what we are saying is that why should we forget Ojukwu? Ojukwu was a hero of our time. We're supposed to remember him. We're supposed to honor him. He has been a good man who actually, spent his father's money fighting for entire Biafrans. That was 1967. 68, 1969, and 1970. He did not look back, he did not withhold anything back, he was not selfish, he was a generous man. In fact, if you ask me, I will tell you, CHUKWUEMEKA ODUMEGU Ojukwu was the most generous Igbos. For not minding his educational level, for not minding his father's opulence or affluence, he fearlessly fought for sustenance, survival of where we live today, called or known as Igbo land. Ojukwu fearlessly, remove the clothes of pride, arrogance aside, and fought for the Igbo man. The place we live today, the lower part of Niger, occupied, River Niger, occupied by the Igbos. If not that Ojukwu actually, fervently spent his father's money, I think the Fulani Janjaweeds, the people from the Sahel countries, would have sacked the Igbos, occupy our land, is alive, and actually annihilate the Holy Ghost, annihilate all of us. But you can see that young man then, at the age of 34, Ojukwu just, took it upon himself, spent his father's money, and they fought for Biafra. For the Igbo man, Ojukwu was not a greedy man. For your own understanding, for your own education. I'm an educator. I just want to put it right to your brain. Don't you ever say in your life or thinking that Ojukwu declared Biafra by himself, on his own, individually. No, solely. No, he didn't solely declare Biafra. Biafra was a collective declaration in 1967. The Idomas were consulted, the Igbos were consulted, the Egalas were consulted, Urobos were consulted, the Efik were consulted, the Ibibios were consulted. Everybody, as in nationalities, ethnics within the Biafra coastal line. Yes, I always use the word, our sister tribes were all consulted, met, collectively before Ojukwu's declaration of Biafra in 1967. He wasn't a selfish man. Anybody that brought that accusation forward is doing so because of his selfish interest. What he is looking forward to gain from the Fulani Janjaweed Nigeria, I'm telling you here, is a knowledge, is an education, is a mindset I would like you to change from today. That Ojukwu did not declare Biafra. Collectively, we declared Biafra in 1967. I name again the ethnicities, the components, tribes, nationalities that make up Biafra contraption today. The Efik, the Bibio, the Igbos, the Edos, the Benis, the Queres, all of them are Igbos. Anyway, the Galas, the Domas, the Bibios, the Urobos, the Sokos, all of them actually, all of them actually declared Biafra. He was not alone on his own. He did not do it alone on his own. It was a collective agreement, convention, and consensus of everybody within that contraption of the lower part of River Niger that came out to agree as a result of too much killings in various army barracks in Nigeria, and mostly people from southeastern Nigeria, the Igbos. The pogrom, the mutiny, the killings continue, uninterrupted, ceaselessly, going on and on and on. And Ojukwu was busy, communicating with Gowon to make sure that the killings of his people, Igbos, stopped. Yet, Gowon could not do anything. Theophilus Danjuma, Murtala Mohammed, and so on and so forth could not do anything. I mean, actually, the people that toppled John Thomas Omonakwe Aguironsi in 1966. Murtala Mohammed, Yakub Gowon, Theophilus Danjuma, his ADC, after toppling John Thomas Omonakwe Johnson, Aguironsi, the Nigerian military clique, the young military officers continued mutineering in the barracks. Various barracks southwest here was under Colonel Olusegun Obasanjo, the right man, the closest friend to CHUKWUEMEKA Zogo. He was in charge. All the barracks here, they made sure that Operation Wipeout eliminated the whole Igbo officers. Ojukwu was not happy. The Igbos were not happy. Idomas were not happy. The Galas were not happy. Urobo, Efik, Isoko, Idoma, Ibibio, all the ethnicities within the geographical location of Biafra land were not happy. That's why they actually wanted to kill Ojukwu. I mean the Igbos, the Galas, the Efik Ibibios. If he failed to declare Biafra, Ojukwu would have been a dead man. For your own information, to know that this young man, then a 33-year-old man, did not do it on his own, but he consulted the whole Ohanezes. Oneze Ndibo were the components. Let me name the components that actually made up the then Ohaneze, pressure cultural group. Efik, Ibibio, Igala, Igbo, Idoma, Urobo, Isoko, all of them. Bini, Idu, all of them. Eso, Abudu, all those Igbo contraptions within the current Edo state were all consulted. Everybody begin to have a rethink that Ojukwu did not declare Biafra on his own. He actually negotiated with all the Biafra ethnic components before making his stance clear. Listen, my name is Ralph Tresvant. If you want to know what I mean, if you want to get out the fact more, if you are not satisfied with my own information, I recommend all these books for you to buy and read or go online. Google, The Making of an African Legend by Frederick Forsyth. CHUKWUEMEKA, my friend, by Frederick Forsyth. Sunset at Dawn. CHUKWUEMEKA Ike. Adegboyaga, Why We Struck. Many Yoruba authors at least wrote Biafran stories. Why We Struck. Many. The Making of an African Legend. The Biafran story written by some Yoruba good authors. You could just buy all these books and find out that I'm not just telling stories. I'm speaking out of, confirmed facts. Yeah, that's it. I'm someone that is always interested on facts. I don't, contradict facts. I'm a man that likes the truth, and I always, base all my findings on facts. You could know actually that Sunset at Dawn was written by CHUKWUEMEKA Ike. Yes. Then Elechi Amadi. Sunset at Dawn. Elechi Amadi. Elechi Amadi is from, I think, River State. An Ikwere man. Sunset at Dawn. So what are we saying? The Sunset at Dawn is a really, let me say, parabolic expression or definition of why did Ojukwu so much entangled to strike that earlier stage that he would have let go endure for some times before indulging into war. But if you look at the rates at which Igbos were being slaughtered in the north, Damawa Forest, Cameroon Forest, all over the Sahel countries where they were cultivating as farmers. My brother, you won't like it though. You would like to declare Biafra. That's why much pressure was mounted on CHUKWUEMEKA ODUMEGU, a 33-year-old boy. That's why he actually declared Biafra emergence. May 30th, 1967 was the beginning of the making of an African legend, the Prince of Africa. Candle that was lit on the top of mountain since 58 years ago, lighting, illuminating the entire continent of Africa. Biafra emerged. I'm telling you, this is indeed a good story that could actually feed your ear. Listen, the Tontons are suffering from the suffering of my people, the poor people then of the southeastern Nigeria. In a little while, everybody will go into hiding. Still a little while, people will be coming out from their hiding places, their various slums, because the war just ended abruptly in 1970. And we started waxing strong, scrambling for survival today. And here we find ourselves. Chineke Okike Abiama has done much for us. We must make sure every Igbo man remember CHUKWUEMEKA ODUMEGU Ojukwu. A day should map out for remembrance of this great hero of Igbo song, Igbo paternity, Igbo extraction. We must remember him, CHUKWUEMEKA ODUMEGU Ojukwu. Very, very important in our lives. A name that will never go down, forgotten in history. He is not Adolf Hitler. He was a good, benevolent philanthropist. Yes, we must remember him in history. A history making in 1967. The making of an African legend. The legend we're talking about here is CHUKWUEMEKA ODUMEGU Ojukwu. Thank you for listening, my very esteemed, respected, honored, and cherished viewers. My name is Ram Tresvant. Dot Nation News. Thank you for listening.